Good evening, everyone. Let me start with a quick question. Raise your hand if you've ever worked with people from different countries or cultures. Great. Now imagine managing thousands of employees across 20 different countries. Each country has different laws, cultures, and ways of working. That's exactly what international HRM deals with. Today, we'll explore how companies manage their people worldwide. We'll travel through our four countries and see how HR practices change completely based on culture. What is IHRM? Let's break this down simply. Traditional HR manages people in one country. International HRM manages people across many countries. It's like being a translator, but instead of languages, you're translating business practices. Think about it this way: a performance review in Germany looks totally different from one in China. Why? Because Germans love direct feedback while Chinese employees prefer saving face. Quick question for you. What do you think is harder, managing 100 people in one city or 20 people across four different countries? You're right. The 20 people across countries, that's because culture changes everything. Why culture matters? Culture affects every single HR function. Let me give you real examples. First, recruitment. In America, we love self promotion in interviews. In Japan, this seems arrogant. In China, personal connections, called guangxi, matter more than your resume. Performance reviews. Germans want honest, direct feedback. Chinese employees need feedback given privately to maintain dignity. Then training. Americans prefer individual learning. Africans learn better in groups. Let's disclose the theoretical models used for IHRM, starting with Hofstede model. Think of it like a cultural report card with six grades. First, power distance. Do people accept hierarchy? Second, individualism versus collectivism. Me first or team first. Third, masculinity versus femininity. Competition or cooperation. Fourth, uncertainty avoidance, love rules or love flexibility. Fifth, long term orientation, plan for future or focus on now. Sixth, indulgence, work hard, play hard, or be restrained. Additional framework for IHRM are 7Cs, organizational typology models, and cultural determinants framework. Welcome to China. Imagine you are an HR manager in Shanghai. China demonstrates high acceptance of hierarchy, team focused, save face at all costs. Employees expect lifetime employment and see their manager as a father figure. The main challenges experienced by HR in China are labor costs rising 12% annually, employee turnover at 18.5%, complex labor laws after two contracts, employees become permanent. So, successful IHRM in China balances global policies with local adaptation and focus on relationship building and respecting Chinese norms and employee development. Guten Tag. Now we're in Germany. The culture of Germany is led by rules, precision, punctuality. But here's the twist: employees have real power through work councils. Fascinating fact: German companies legally must include employees in major decisions. HR can just fire people, they need employee committee approval. And this is evident by Germany's low Hofstede score on power distance at 35. Today's German HR is progressively being challenged with both demographic and technological shifts, leading to 1.5 million job vacancies, aging workforce, and everything needs committee approval. As an example of the best practices in Germany is the fact that German companies worker in designing new production lines result higher productivity and employee satisfaction. Who thinks employee committee make companies slower? Actually, German companies are among the world's most efficient. Now, let's visit the HR of USA. In USA, the HRM culture is famous for individual success, flat hierarchies, speak up mentality, merit wins over relationships. And this is evidenced by the high achievement Hofstede score of 60. The main HR challenges issues in the US are only 10% of workers are unionized, and high litigation risk, aka wrongful termination lawsuits everywhere, at will employment, hire fast, fire fast. Moreover, modern challenges are remote work post 2020, COVID 19, companies scrambled to create hybrid policies overnight. And for the success examples, direct feedback, high performance, high rewards. Finally, Ubuntu philosophy in South Africa. Ubuntu means I am because we are. Community first, respect for elders, and shared success. All of which define the HRM culture of South Africa and its employees, which have a multilingual talent pool, team building practices, and a focus on honoring diversity. South African HR had been experiencing strict regulation and social objectives whereby the labor law is very universal, including acts of basic conditions of employment, labor relations, employment equity, etc. And the BBB laws require companies to transform leadership to include previously disadvantaged groups. On another hand, best practices are employee engagement strategies, development talent, innovative training, and inclusion of minorities. An important cultural insight is the fact that South African meetings take longer because everyone must speak and feel heard. Rushing decisions breaks Ubuntu principles. This is a comparative table highlighting the difference in Hofstede culture model scores across the four countries where we see China has the highest power distance, Germany has the highest individualism score, US has the highest indulgence, and South Africa scores are low to moderate on all contexts. This comparative summary highlights key differences in international human resource management across China, Germany, the United States, and South Africa. Each country has different HR practices shaped by its cultural values and institutional frameworks. China is focused on hierarchy, relationship based management. Germany favors legally grounded leadership. The US leans toward individualism with merit based, performance driven practices, and South Africa blends its Ubuntu philosophy with inclusive, equity focused HR approaches. In summary, the comparison reflects the importance of having specific HR strategies to meet with each country's cultural and institutional context in order to achieve effective global HR management. Looking ahead, the global trajectory of HRM will be increasingly influenced by digital transformation, transnational workforce mobility, and progressively increasing expectations around sustainability and inclusion. And this requires a sensitive approach, one that balances global consistency with local responsiveness. And HR professionals must therefore implement and use cultural intelligence, legal awareness, and strategic monitoring to manage this change involving evolving HR landscape. And thank you so much for your time and attention.